Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Leilu Nishmas Chaim Oren. Good Moed. Today is 3 days into the Omer, and if you're not just roll, it's on the screen. I'll show you. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the wrong thing for me. We'll just read a few emails. Actually, I have a couple of videos here that I want to share with you. This is Yidi Schwartz's son at a Pesach something in Brooklyn.
Shout out. Good morning or good morning. Whatever you want. Take the mic and let me use scream, but you don't stop till they scream very loud.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
No, they have to scream Okay, one more time.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai.
There we go. Let's give a round of applause to show.
That's their thing. Okay, we're live now. Dear Belly, it was great to see you in Chicago for the Nazir Siyum. What a great way to finish Naz and start Sotah. Thank you for the encouragement to stick it over the long Yantiv. Avremi, they're saying that we're not on Zoom, so if you could figure that one out. Thank you for the encouragement to stick it out of the long Yantiv. Seeing how hard you work to stay ahead, there's no way I was going to let myself fall behind. So Rabbi Isai, this is a reminder that if you did fall off the bandwagon, you weren't able to do the Daf over Yantiv, you jump ahead, be with us here on Daf Yomi Beis. You'll make up the rest. Yantiv Sheine, after Yantiv, good Moed and keep on dafing. Michael Chessel, here it is. He has a little video for us. There we go.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Hey, it's Jeep Mike here in the Florida Everglades on a Chol Moed adventure. Don't let Chol Moed throw you off the bandwagon. Just keep dafing and have a wonderful day.
Shkoyach. Wow. He flew in all the way from Miami over there for the Siyum here in Chicago. Dearest Rabbi Goyen Rebbe Shlita, taking revenge on my father as he was always sending in pictures of me, caught doing the daf, even while he's frying egg lukshin. See attached picture. It's not about the daf, it's about the egg lukshin. Afreidchem Pesach, Shai Spear since Tainas Daf Bay, Stanford Hill, Chasidim for MDY. Rabbi Yisai, we have a very beautiful daf today. All about Yitzias Mitzrayim, unbelievable in Yana D'Yayma. And we are holding already by the sponsors, the Koil. The sponsor by Anonymous from Lakewood, the second sponsor for the Koil, Reuben Klein, in honor of my daughter Aliza becoming a Kalif, it's Tzvi Chaim Oren from Toronto. The Masechta, sponsored by myself, Eli Stefansky. Leilu Nishmas Menachem Toporowitz, Menachem Ben ybl'c Yehושע Doiv. The Paras HaChodesh, Leilu Nishmas Chaim. I think this is the first time I'm sponsoring something. I was so touched by his Nedivos Halev and that he was nifter at the very, very young age of 39 that I decided to sponsor the Masechta for him. The Paras HaChodesh, the MDY Family, Leilu Nishmas Chaim Oren, Zechariah Ben ybl'c Eliyahu. Paras HaChodesh, Leilu Nishmas Chaim Bas Yosef. Paras HaChodesh, the entire MDY Family, Leilu Nishmas Abraham Menachem Toporowitz Aryeh. And the art is sponsored for complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi Ben Leah. Rabbi say, don't forget, there's a Chazor initiative on Masechta Sotah. The Olam is going strong with Chazara, with Kahoot, which is the online test that you do. It's a very easy, simple, fun way to do Chazara. And there's a $1,500 raffle for all the new guys that started Masechta Sotah. If they finish Masechta Sotah, they get entered into a $1,500 raffle. And the people that brought them to this year get entered into another $1,500 raffle. Rabbi said we're holding on Daf Yud Aleph Amud Beis, all the way in the bottom. And it says, the call of Ben Chetzron, we already did this, we'll just see it real quickly. Here's the pasuk, the psukim. The call of Ben Chetzron, hoylidis azuva. This Divrei Hayamim. Divrei Hayamim is very, very interesting. It's not exactly the way you see the words, the way you understand it. There's a complete different meaning behind many of the psukim. And sometimes it says hoylid, it's this, doesn't mean hoylid, it means married to, it means himself. Different people have different, you have to, it's a big Torah how to learn it. So it says V'kol ben Chetzron. And that yesterday we saw that his name is not, as the Gemara asked right away, here we see, you know what, we'll review it. V'kol ben Chetzron hoylid is azuva, isha, v'siriyos, ve'ela boneo, yesher, v'shoyev, v'arda. We're going to see these are not her sons. This is just another way to call Kalev. Kalev is the famous Miragel who wasn't a Meragel, him and Yeshua, they beat the Meraglim, they refused to say Lashon Hara about Eretz Yisrael, and we know him as Kalev ben Yefuna. Ask the Gemara, Ben Chetzron, Ben Yefuna. So why does the pasuk call him Ben Chetzron? Says the Gemara, Ben Shaparim Asis Meraglim. It's because he went away from the Meraglim. Bakati ben Knazu, D'chsiv, Ba'ilkedah, Sneah ben Knaz. Oh, you know what? Okay, we'll just say it because we already got to Amud Aleph. Omarova, Chorge, the Knaz have, and Akinami, D'chsiv, Aknizi, Shmamina. Okay, this is where we're holding from yesterday. I have a shaila though for the Olam. Which two women in the Torah got married when they were pregnant? Two different women got married when they were pregnant. Came up with this myself today. Tamar is one, very good. And today we're going to learn about another one. According to the Gemara, Tamar married Yehuda, and they stayed married forever, so it turns out that he married her when she was pregnant. Okay. Fine. Azuva. Zu Miriam. So now let's go back to the pasuk. Kalev ben Chazon hoiladis Azuva. Kalev gave birth, so to speak, to Azuva. But Azuva is Miriam. In other words, we're going to see in a second. Hoilad over here means he married. Kalev married Miriam, even though everybody stayed away from Miriam. Miriam was a very sick woman. She not only that, she got tzaras afterwards. She got tzaras twice in her life. So they left her. Now, he didn't birth her. He's not her father. He's her husband. Person marries a woman, says Rashi, that he knew about the halacha that says that you should check out the Kala's brother, the girl's brothers. Who is Miriam's brothers? Nobody greater than Moshe and Aaron. He said to himself, I want kids like Moshe and Aaron because Yivdik Bacha. She's sick. No. I'll marry L'Shem Shomayim. So if you marry a woman L'Shem Shomayim, Malav HaKasav Kilu Yilada, it's Kilu, he gave birth to her. 100 years ago, there was a woman who was very sick, and somebody who also had some issues decided he's going to marry her. At the chasana, he got cold feet and backed out at the wedding. There was somebody at the chasana who felt really bad for this girl. He said, yeah, she's sick, but such busha. He asked her, you want to marry me? She said, yeah. And they continued on with the chasana. And the story goes that it wasn't like, they had a beautiful family, and she later on in her life, she got healthy, and all her kids were very mutzaltika kids. It was a good thing. Over here also, you see by Miriam, not only did she get healthy, but she became very attractive, and as the Gemara is going to explain. Says the Gemara, Yiriyos. Look in the pasuk. Here we go. Yiriyos. Best Yiriyos. What does Yiriyos mean? Says the Gemara, she was so pale that her face looked like curtains, like just black. She didn't have any redness, any color to her skin. These are her sons. These are the ones who built her. All referring to Kalev, that he straightened himself out. He didn't go batzas meraglim. Shoivav in Hebrew, shovav is a wild kid, a wild person. Sheshiba v'sitzrei. He basically ignored the Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer that said, let's go with the Meraglim. He broke the Yetzer. V'ardoin shiradas Yisrael. He rebelled against the Yetzer. All the shyness of him beating the Yetzer Hara and not going with the Meraglim. Later on, when he brought her back, he nursed her back to health, her face looked like a pink rose, like a red rose. Later on it says, also in the Rayomim, he had two wives, Chala, which is a lotion of sickness, Vinara, which is the opposite of being sick. Ashkur is a kalev. Another name for kalev. He wanted to be saved from the meraglim, so he went into a tainus.
Is that tainus for just the 40 days when they were going, or for the whole time?
Before going in there, I don't know for how many days, but it was so many days. It doesn't seem like he had a whole lot of time. From the time he found out he's going to Israel and he realized the meraglim are going to talk Lashon Hara, he did a bunch of tainus. Avi, shenaselo ke'ov. If a person wants to know how to treat his wife, he should think to himself, how would you want your son-in-law, for those of you who have son-in-laws, you know what I'm talking about? How would you want your son-in-law to treat your daughter? He became like a father, not like a father. Tekoya, shetaka es liboy lavish b'shamayim. Position his heart to his father in heaven. Hayushtei nashim. Nasimir kishtei nashim. Miriam was like two women. Chalav and Ara. Loi chalav and Ara. She wasn't together, those two. In the beginning, she was sickly. Saif Nara, she became youthful. Ubenei chela tzaras v'tzoyar ve'esna. Tzeres shenaset tzara l'chavrisel. She was like a tzara. If a person marries two women, so each one becomes a tzara to the other. They're jealous of each other. So over here also, women became jealous of her beauty. Her face is like the noon. That when people saw her, they got a taiva, and they went back to their wife and they gave their wives presents. So Rashi over here goes into a whole long arichos. What happened was, so Mamash, we're talking about Yitzis Mitzrayim, Moshe Rabbeinu, the whole Geula of Klal Yisrael. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful how that happens a lot with the daf that we're holding in the middle of Pesach, and we're talking all about Yitzis Mitzrayim. The day Moshe was born, the stargazers, they told Paroi, this is the day that the Moshe of Klal Yisrael is born. The one who's going to bring Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. So he said, okay, we got to kill not only all the Jews, but also all the Mitzrim today. Why? Because they weren't sure if what they saw in the stars is a Jewish child or a Mitzri. And the reason is, I think the Maral explains it, that whoever gives sustenance, whoever brings up a child, Kili Yoldai, it says. So Mela, Amgadlai Kili Yoldai. So they weren't sure, and that's exactly what happened there. They weren't sure if it's a Mitzri or it's a Jew. So therefore, he made a gzeira that everybody must die, all the children that day. He made a gzeira also on the Mitzrayim. So there's three decrees. In the beginning, he told Yocheved and Miriam, or Yocheved and Elisheva, or whoever it was, he said to the midwives, if you see that it's a boy, kill him. Another example was he saw that they weren't listening and they were giving birth. So, okay, let's throw all the boys into the Nile, into the At the end, he even was gozer on his own nation, and he killed everybody until the point when Yocheved put Moshe Rabbeinu into the Yar. So that was 3 months. It's 3 months of killing. From the day he was born to the day she put him in the Yar, 3 months. 3 months straight, he was killing Mitzrim and everything. Unbelievable. If you think about it, there's a big nace here. Because it was a shtos, mamish a shtos. If you try to kill all the men, and let's say you don't get 5%, so the 5% are going to repopulate all of Klal Yisrael. But if you kill all the women, and you only have 5% left, you could basically get rid of Klal Yisrael. He chose the wrong. He should have thrown all the women and all the girls into the yard. Why didn't he? Because of Taivas. He wanted to have the Jewish women. Says the Gemara. Where did he go? Ishme Beis Levi. This is an amazing story that we all know from school. Tana, Amram Gola Dorhoya. Who is Amram? Amram was one of the 4 people, Shemeis Be'itya Shanachash. There's only 4 people in the world that were never chayta at all. One of them was Amram, Binyamin, Kilov, and Yishai. Right? I think. So Amram Godel Adar. Kivin Shorosh Amar Paroi Rosh Kalabenya Hayiloid Hayorid Ashduchu. We saw the Gzeira. Got to kill all the boys. Omar Shabbanom Amelim. Why should we have children? Omar Vigirish Ishta. He divorced Yocheved. Om the Kulam Vigirish Nishaseh. The first time, it seems like, I don't know if it wasn't really him, but the Gdolim said, don't be Mishtabet in Mitzrayim. And they didn't listen. They said, these rabbis, they don't really know. We'll do it. We'll do a little bit. We'll help Paro a little bit. And then they got stuck there. And the Shevet Levi didn't get stuck. Whoever listened to the Gdolei Levi didn't have to work. But once they learned their lesson, that it's not a good idea not to listen to the Gdolei. They knew what they were talking about back then. So if he's divorcing his wife, we're going to divorce our wives. Omer loy bitoy comes Miriam, Abba koshik zeroscha yosim shel Pare. What you're doing is worse than Pare. Shepare legos al scharim v'ato gozarta al scharim al nekevos. Pare goes al scharim. Your guys are on both, also the nekevos. Pare legos al boilam hazeh v'ato boilam hazeh v'oilam haba. This is an amazing line. You a geyser for oilam hazeh and oilam haba. What does it say here? That if a child is born for a moment and tossed into the yar a moment later, the Zoichet Olam Haba. And if that child wasn't born at all, then not Zoichet Olam Haba. This actually is a nichum for those who, Rahman al-Islam, lost children at a very young age. They brought the child down, that child goes to Olam Haba. And it's not just for children, it's also for Nefalim. So miscarriages also is the same idea. Bring them down into this world, at least even though they were here for a moment. And this is the chiddush that Miriam told her father, that her father didn't chap. And he was masking to. Is that life, even a moment of life, is worth all the heartache and the whole pregnancy and all the tsars that comes with it, everything, even if there's death afterwards, one moment of life, even for a child, think about it, even for an infant that has kimat no seichel, one moment is worth it all, and that brings them to Olam Haba. Kolchkin ben Menachem Toporowitz for a person at the end of the life. What does a day, an hour, talking about, taking them people off the machine, all that. This comes into the cheshbon that each moment that a person lives is a whole world. The Zoichet Olam Haba. Look, it says here in the Gemara, Va'ata ba'olam hazeh u'lo olam haba. Israel Tauber said once that his mother got pregnant during the war, and a goita asked her, "What are you doing?" And she told the goita, she said, "Even if they kill my child, the Nazis, but I'll see my child in Olam Haba." And then she turned to her children, she said, "That I said to the goya. But the truth is, this is Tzivui Hashem." And he went on to say, Reb Zeril Tauber, that that kid that was born during the war, she was saved, and her mother got pregnant again. And when she went to Auschwitz, the Yemach Shemoinek, not going to mention his name, said, "You go to I need to do some tests on you," because she was pregnant. So he killed the baby, but she was saved. The mother was saved because of the baby. So it turned out that there was she was saved because of that pregnancy. One of them. Zog the Gemara. Shabar legos v'scharim, olam haba, paria rosha, sovik miskayemes, gzeros sovik miskayemes, ato tzadik, bivadish gzeros miskayemes. You're tzadik. Why are you making gzera that might stay? Shenema v'tigzar oimer v'yokim loch. Omad v'hichzir zishtoy. So he got up. He says, I don't know how old she was, 5 years old. You're right. Miriam, you're right. Good taina, I'm moed to you. I'm going to bring her back. He got married. Explains the Gemara. Everybody went and remarried their wives. Vayikach, says the Gemara, vayachzer mebaylei. What's vayikach? Vayikach means he married her for the first time. What is it? It should say vayachzer. He was machzer grushasa. He made a fancy wedding, a whole, as if it was the first time. I have a picture here if you want to see what it looks like. One of these things that they still do at Aryeh in China. He made a whole thing. Now there is a Gemara I didn't look it up, but there's a Gemara that says that this apirion, we learned it once, that it's only for psulais. It's only for someone getting married the first time. And it could be that he was doing like a shtick here to fool the Mitzrim. Because what's interesting is that Yocheved, when he remarried her, she was pregnant. This is the second woman that was married when she was pregnant. Yocheved was pregnant with Moshe Rabbeinu 3 months. Now, it's possible, I didn't see this anywhere, but it's possible that in order to throw the Mitzrim off, he pretended that it's a new marriage, brand new marriage, so they shouldn't think to go back. And they started the count from that day of the marriage. Just like you mirakid in front of Absula. Huh?
Rashi says in Shemot that Miriam was, Yocheved gave birth to Moshe Rabbeinu at 6 months. 7 months.
Correct. No, 6 months in a day, he says. You're right.
So,
right. Enochanami. They talk about it. Is Rashi trying to exclude what it says over here in the Gemara? Because Rashi had a problem that it seems like she got pregnant then. Yeah, you're right. Good point. He's saying that Rashi, you didn't hear what he said, he's asked, that Rashi says in Chumash that she got pregnant, the Moshe Rabbeinu was born at 6 months in a day, meaning not like this Gemara, taking off the 3 months. But our Gemara says 3 months. So I just wanted to show you this pasuk over here. We said it today, we said it yesterday, but it's beautiful to learn this pasuk in a whole new light. He's saying that I brought back my akeres habayis, my original wife. Everybody's happy. The kids, the wife, everybody's happy now. Even Miriam is happy. We're all happy. And they were dancing. As Bas Levi. So, who did he marry Bas Levi? So check out. So here's a chart from the art scroll. I took it out. I have Rishos to use their thing. We're not using this chart at all. But if you want to see, it's a beautiful chart that shows you all the 70 people that came into Mitzrayim. As they walked in, it says, here's it. Leah had 33 descendants. If you count, she only has 32. So what happened to the rest? You don't count the Imais, Leah, Zilpa, Bila, Rachel, obviously wasn't alive then. You don't count any of them. So the question is, where do you have 33? The answer is Yocheved. Yocheved was born at the entrance of Mitzrayim. Knowing that, check this out, this is Yoshi put together today. So Yocheved was born as they walked into Mitzrayim. We know that Klal Yisrael was in Mitzrayim for 210 years. How old was Moshe Rabbeinu when they left Mitzrayim? 80. It's here on the chart. So 80 minus 210 is 130. So it comes out that Yocheved was 130 years old when she gave birth to Moshe Rabbeinu. 130 plus 80 is 210. It's just a very simple chart. Again, Moshe Rabbeinu was 80 years old when they left Mitzrayim. Yocheved was born when they came into Mitzrayim. And there's 210 years. You have to fill the gap. 210. So it has to be that she was 130 when she gave birth. So the Gemara of Karla Bas, and you're calling her a young girl. Says the Gemara, so now we understand it. This is Yocheved who her mother got pregnant with her on the way to Mitzrayim, and she gave birth ben achoymes. Shenemar asher yolda oisol levi b'Mitzrayim. Ledas b'Mitzrayim b'neras b'Mitzrayim. She was born in Mitzrayim, but not pregnant in Mitzrayim. Or Ravido says the Gemara. The answer is shenolda basimoni naros. That her skin, the wrinkles went away. She became a nida. She was able to, at 130, she was able to have children again. It's actually 124 for Aaron and Miriam. Okay. I'll skip that joke because we don't have time anymore. It's a very, very long daf, a lot of words, and that's why I'm moving quicker than usual. Now, the big question is, if there was such a nace that Yocheved was 130 years old when she gave birth to Moshe, how come it's not mentioned in the Torah, like it's mentioned by Sarah? So there's a number of answers. One answer is that the Torah is not a storybook. It doesn't tell you, oh, this person was this old, this person was that old. Check out this thing. Whatever's going to get to Klal Yisrael and how Klal Yisrael is built and specific things, that's what it says in the Torah. It doesn't say every single detail of everything. Another answer is that in Mitzrayim there's so many nisim. Every woman gave birth to 6 kids, and they were planted under the ground. And as we learned yesterday, and they would, as they were plowing, they jumped under the ground, above the ground. There's nisim in the flies. So there's another nice. Okay. Vatara isha vatei leben. And Yocheved became pregnant, and she gave birth. You see, not like Rashi, or maybe that's what Rashi meant. There's a problem. Okay. You see that she was pregnant for 3 months when she got married to Amram. That the Leida, there's no pain. Why? Because the Be'etzev Tilibanim, the klala that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave Chava was for regular women, but not for Tzidkaniya. She didn't have any pain. But there is a toiv who she saw that Moshe Rabbeinu's toiv. What does toiv mean? His name was toiv. We have a number of answers there. So they say the nafkamina between toiv and toivia perhaps is that he was born toiv. He was born good, just a good person. Toivia means that he had to work on himself a little bit more. He wasn't born perfect. He worked on his midas, which for me seems even more chashiv. Okay, but maybe for Moshe Rabbeinu, it's to be born b'shleimos is a whole different thing. He's toiv that he's ready to be a navi. So pay attention to this one. He was toiv, he was perfect, he was even born with a milah. Like it says by light. Light is considered toiv. So there's a special light, like a Sheine, something, a different type of light. But it's B'nei Shloshei Rachim. Says Gemara, the Leimonu Mitzrim Elo Mishal Dahadro. So the Mitzrim started counting from the moment he returned his wife, Yocheved, and they forgot to count the 3 months before. She was already pregnant for 3 months. And Memela, that's what it means. So for the first 3 months of his life, they didn't have such a problem, they hid him. And then they couldn't hide him anymore. Why? Amai? The same way she hid him until now, she hid him in some garbage can in the back of the kitchen. Let her continue doing that. What's the problem? She put him in a hidden closet somewhere. So why can't she continue doing it? Like the famous, like our teacher told us in kindergarten, they brought a baby. They would pinch the baby until it cried. I always tried it with my kids. I wanted to see if it's true. I never really was able to get another child to cry. So I thought maybe, I don't know, Nishtanu Atfayim or something. But today I looked it up on Google, and it says it's a davar pasha that if an infant cries, all other infants cry. I was in a hospital many times. I saw babies cry for food. So maybe it takes a few minutes. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a davar yedua to science that this is a fact. Okay. I had a shayla about it. I asked people today in the hotel. I said, anybody know? They said, no. We tried it. We saw it. It doesn't happen by us. As I state, look it up on Google. It's not even a shayla. I don't know why. Okay. So the Gemara, these are mean people taking their own babies, pinching their own babies, catching the Jewish babies, tossing them into the river, letting them drown. They don't even kill them. Let them drown. Terrible death. So this is very interesting. It says that Hakadosh Baruch Hu tells the Yamsuf, grab these little foxes, shualim ktanim, meaning these mitzrim. You hear what's going on here? These mitzrim that you're drowning now by the Kriyas Yamsuf, these used to be little foxes, and they caused the death of Yidden. It's not even so much their fault. Their parents pinched them and they cried, and because of their cry, they were able to catch the Yidden. And now, take these small foxes and hold on to them good. Make sure they drown. And Yocheved took a wicker basket. So I have a beautiful picture. I just put the the teva in there, and Yoshi saw it on my he was doing some other work on that chart, and he saw it and he just added the water. I think it's much better now. So this is a wicker basket. I don't know exactly what hers look like, but it's wicker. So the Gemara is bothered by this wicker. Wicker is a cheaper material. If you were to put a baby in the water, you'd build a nice box out of wood, solid wood. You take nice oak, I don't know what. You'd build a box. You want to protect the baby. What are you doing with wicker? Says the Gemara, two tirutzim. There's a musag that a tzaddik knows that whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him in terms of monetary value, whatever, you have to take good care of it. It's a gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you to do things with. And you don't let it go. There's different Gemaras how Tanoim were very careful with the money. They didn't want their clothes to rip, so they let their skin. It's not necessarily Yosim that they love money so much, more than their body. It just means that they're very careful with it. So why waste it on nice mahogany wood when you could just put them in a wicker basket? Tzaddikim, every pruta they get is hard-earned money, and maybe they're very careful with their money. Rabbi Shmuel Bar Achmeni Omar Dovarach, he says different terms, because wicker is softer than wood. It has the ability to withstand even a hard stone. So let's say in the Nile, in the Yar, it's going with the car and it hits a stone. If it's a big wooden box, it could break open. But a wicker box will absorb the blow, bounce off, and keep on going. And at the same time, it can also withstand the water and everything else. She took Chemar and Zephas. What's the taich in English? Chemar? Clay. Tano, Chemar, Mebifnim, Zephas, Mechutz. Famous Gemaras, all these Gemaras. This is where we get it from. In kindergarten, they learned this Gemara. It's right here. She put clay in the inside and tar on the outside. The teva, on the other hand, was both tar on the inside and the outside. Why? He's going to be the Mashe of Klai Yisrael. He shouldn't smell a bad smell. What does suf mean? Yeah, literally, into the ritzi. No, it doesn't mean the Yamsuf. And what do you mean she put it in the red? Put it where the Yar and the Yamsuf they connect, right around there somewhere. She put him in the marsh. Suf means marsh. Fine. We just turned to Yud Beis and Beis. Hatzlacha of Aryeh Leib and Aliza Simcha Sheine Mashe and Aliza Sheine Mashe about Bracha, Hatzlacha, the magid, the members of the HBA Group and their families. Amen. Can anybody read how much time it is?
33 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay, we got to move. A lot of words here. Says the Gemara about here. Bas Par Luchotz Aliyar. Or Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Melamed Shiyar the Luchotz Migiluli Aviyah. Unbelievable. The Basia went down into the Yar to be misgayer, to be toivel in the mikvah, to be misgayer, to get rid of the avodah of father. She went with her maidservants. Or they're going to do something that could cause them to the death penalty. She noticed the basket. She saw what's going on here. Their master, the daughter of Paro, the princess, she's about to save a Jew. So they try to talk her out of it. Even if nobody listens to it, at least his own household will keep the gzeira. How could you break the rule? Comes Malach Gabriel and throws him to the ground. What happens when a Malach throws a person to the ground? It's like getting thrown off a 100-story building. It breaks their head in half. That's what happened. So they died, gone. So now what does Amasa mean? Once they're all dead, so Amasa can mean two things. Amasa can mean her maidservant, which we just said they're all dead, or it can mean her hand. It's her hand. Amasa means a hand. Uman doma shivchaso meloik siv yada. Just say your head. Uman doma shivchaso amres bagavril chavad mekarka. But they're all dead. Shayla. Okay, at least she left. Gabriel left her one. She needs one. Because a queen is not used to going by herself. Right? She's a guy or she's a good woman. Why should I kill all? She needs one. Okay. Why does it say Amasa? Her hand got long, reached out. Some say it's not exactly. It's a mashal, and this, Rav Chaim Shmuel learns from here that a person has to go above and beyond what nature is if you want to be making shtalos. The question is, I mean, if you have to go from here to Eretz Yisrael, so what's your shtalos? You're gonna jump, take a 2-foot jump, and that's your shtalos, and you're gonna think that miraculously you're gonna get to Eretz Yisrael. It's a little far fetched. She sees the basket 100 feet away, and she goes like this. Could be the pshat is that, if you're in shul, Chas v'sholom, you see the Sefer Torah fall, the guy is struggling with the Hagba. So your instinct is to reach out. Different times, you see a baby falling, you reach out, you're 100 feet away, but that's your instinct. So if you make that move towards, her instinct was, let me go save this baby. She made that move, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu helped her out and got her the baby. We see by Oig, Sheine from Shibarta, the famous story. Oig picked up the mountain and he was about to crush Klal Yisrael, but then the ants came and made a hole, so it fell on his head, over his neck, and then his teeth, Sheine from Shibarta, his teeth went into the mountain and he was stuck, and that was the end of it. You made the teeth long. Oh, I forgot to say, the Omar Mar v'chein ata moitza ba'amosa shel Paroi means not only by Esther, because this Gemara was said by Esther. So not only by Esther did her wand go all the way to Achashverosh, but v'chein ata moitza ba'amosa shel Paroi, you see that also by Paroi and Oig. She opens up the basket and she sees a child. She saw. What's Vatirehu? There's an extra hey vav here. She saw whatever that means. Obviously, she wasn't zoichet to see the Shechina, but she saw that this is a holy baby. She saw something. In one pasuk it says nar, one pasuk says yeled. He has the voice of an older kid. If he has a voice, imagine a little baby that's 2 months old and he has a voice of a 9-year-old. So he's balmum. How can he be a Levi? One thing that bothered me, but I saw that they talk about it, I didn't understand the Torah so well, but he was a balmum. He was a Aral Sfasayim. So the answer, I think the Haflos, who says the Maral maybe? I saw somebody saying that, but I didn't understand it 100%, that he had to be a Aral Sfasayim in order to give over the Torah, unless, we had one of these presidents, I'm not going to say his name, he was unbelievable, he spoke beautifully, but Lamaisi is whatever. So the people shouldn't say, Moshe Rabbeinu, he doesn't have any toichen. He's just a great speaker, and therefore he said, no, he's not a very good speaker. And Afal Piken, HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose him, and this is our Torah, etc. So he had to be a Ral Sfasayim. But how does that answer? At the end of the day, he's still Balmum. Okay, I'm missing something. Oh, here's a picture. She built a baby chuppah on his little basket. Why? Amra says, no, I'll make him a little baby one because I don't think I'll be zoicha to see his chuppah. Which, by the way, I don't know if this is like what's the lashon? Or like niva v'leyodim hasheniva. At the end of the day, she wasn't at his chuppah because he got married in Minyan. Okay. But it's interesting. She made him a little baby, a little play chuppah. How did Basia know that she's looking at a Jewish baby? Especially if we're killing, Paro is killing all the babies. She saw that he had a bris milah. Now, I had a big problem, and this took me a long time until I found the Marsha. We said that according to one shita, Moshe Rabbeinu was born Moed. Toiv means he's born Moed. So you could be born Moed. How does it prove that he's a Jew? A Mitzri could also be born Moed. So Marshal says no, because you do Priya, you do Hatafas Dam. There's different simanim that she saw that he was Jewish. Also, it's not so shchiach. Okay. But it took me a while until I found the Marshal. It bothered me. Zeh. Now what? She says she made a nevuah that this is the last baby that's going to be thrown into the yard. That day, what happened was, let's see weiter. The Gemara is going to explain. The kids are, you're going to go, Rashi explains here, you're going to go and you're going to think that these people are stargazers, they figure out stuff, the future from the stars, they figure stuff out from speaking to the dead. Nah, it's never accurate. They're onto something, but not the whole thing. They vocalize, they see in the future, but not in mamash. One thing they saw, that Moshe Rabbeinu, whoever he is, the one that's going to bring Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim, his punishment is going to be through water. Amdu v'gazru chalabene Eliyahu ya'aret hashlichu. So they made a gzeira that any boy that's born, throw him into the water. Let him get his punishment right now. That day, that Yocheved threw him into the water. They're looking for the simanim. Tell Barry, no, it's over. It's done. Something happened. We don't know what, but it's gone. So Rashi says, it's interesting that he says this because the Gemara says something a little different. But Rashi says that as long as he was in the yard, Moshe Rabbeinu was in the yard, so that was a big punishment for him, just floating in the yard. And Mela, that took away what they saw in the stars. The Gemara says slightly different, but maybe it's not a steer. It's not a steer, obviously. Badlu l'gzeres. So they were badlu l'gzeres. So from that moment on, from the time that Moshe Rabbeinu went into the yard, there was no more boys thrown into the yard. At the end of the day, Moshe Rabbeinu got punished because the Baruch was mitzav Moshe and Aryeh to talk to the stone and take out water from it. And Moshe Rabbeinu didn't listen. He took the staff and he hit the stone. It worked. Water came out of the stone. After Miriam was nifter, when there's no more bear Miriam, so he got punished for that. He didn't go into Israel because of that. And that's what it means that it was like from the water, not like on the yard. And it's mashma that the Torah is talking about something that already happened. Hema, these waters, we already discussed these waters. Says Gemara, Hema Sharo, Tagnine, Paroi V'to. These are the waters. The water, this Memeriva, is the water that the stargazers saw, but they made a mistake. They thought it's the yard. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, 600,000, I saved you all. Because of me, from the day that they threw me into the water, Klal Yisrael is saved. As Taisvas, what do you mean? I saved Klal Yisrael. It's because of you that the whole Gzera started in the first place. The stargazers saw that there's going to be somebody that's going to save Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. Let's throw all the boys into the water. So it's because of you, Moshe Rabbeinu, they threw all the boys in the water. So what are you saying? Oh, and because of me, I saved you all. You're the one that started it all. So it says beautifully. The first Gzeira was nothing to do with the Mashiach of Klal Yisrael. The first Gzeira was, let's weaken Klal Yisrael. They're too strong. They're going to go against us in a war, and they're going to beat us. Let's throw them all into the yard. Later on, there's another Gzeira. The Mashiach of Klal Yisrael is born today. Let's throw all the babies, all the newborns all the male babies, including the Mitzrayim. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, because of me, I got rid of the first Gzeira. It's not because of me that they're throwing the babies into the yard. Now they're throwing the Mitzrayim into the yard. It was Chaf Aleph Nisan. Amru. the one who's going to say Shira on the 21st day of Nisan, that's the day they should be punished. Similar thing. It was the 6th day of Sivan. The Kabbalah Torah is on Vav Sivan. You want to punish him on that day? Let's do this one. Okay, so here, we go back for a second. It says in this pasuk, says Rashi, the famous pasuk. Hayai means this is the day that I'm going to die. This is the day I was born. So we know that he was the same day that he died is the same day he was born. We know that Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter on Zayin Adar. So Mele he was born on Zayin Adar. Great. So if he was born on Zayin Adar, so what's 1 month later? Zayin Nisan. 2 months later is Zayin Iyar. 3 months later is Zayin Sivan, which, okay, Vav Sivan, same thing. So it's exactly 3 months later. So that's if you hold Vav Sivan. These are the 3 months that Yocheved hid him in the house. He was born on Zayin Adar, and she hid him for 3 months. The 3rd month, on Vav Sivan, she took him out of the house, put him into the yard. Say the Malachim, it doesn't make any sense, everybody. You're going to punish him. He's going to be the one that's going to give the Torah. He's going to be the Torah and Vav Sivan. So how? You got to take care of him. The same day that he was nifter, the same day he was born. 3 months. But if you say that the day that she put him in the yard was the 21st day of Nisan, so from Zayin Adar to 21st of Nisan is not 3 months. It's a little bit more than a month. Says Gemara, there's 2 others. You have most of the first month from Zayin all the way to the end. Okay. So she tells the Miriam tells Paro, should I go call somebody, one of the Jews, to feed the baby? Why did she say Jew? She's trying to hide the fact that her mother is the real mother. So just say, should I find you a Menekes? Says the Gemara, they brought Moshe Rabbeinu to all the Mitzrayim that were in that neighborhood, all the Menekes, all the, what are they called? A nurse, a what?
Wet nurse.
Wet nurse. Thank you. A wet nurse, all the wet nurses, all the Mitzrayim, Miliona. He didn't want a nurse. Omar, he said, so even though it's mutter to be yoinik from a goya, but at the end of the day she eats treif, and it doesn't pass. It doesn't make sense for somebody that's going to talk to the Sheine. Davar boy, his mouth is going to eat a dover tummy. Doesn't make sense. But in the chsiv, es mi yored deya. Because Baruch says, I'm going to teach the Torah, and I'm going to explain to him to the person who stopped drinking the milk, who removed himself from nursing. Similar, we have the chamar of Reb Pinchas ben Yair or Chanina ben Doisa. Even the animal of a gadol wouldn't eat food that's not proper food. So kolchkein, a person who spoke to the Sheine is not going to eat, even though it's okay. It's a little different because over there it's really food that doesn't have trumas and meiser, but an animal could. Similar. You see this idea? It's also an important idea for us. Stam. What goes into your kids? If people are makban on chalav stam, you don't give your kid a chalav stam bar. This is a kid that's going to grow up to be a gadol. You're going to give him bad stuff. But bas pari leichi. Stam. It's a thing for you guys. I eat chalav stam, unfortunately. It's bad, really bad. Yashan. You're going to get a kid yashan pizza that's not yashan. Sorry, deraisa. Yashan deraisa. Bas pari leichi. Miriam ran with all her strength. Alma is a lashon shelimas devareh. She hid what she was trying to do here. She didn't want to give Moshe up and say that he's a Jew. She hid it. She said nevuah without knowing. Hey, lichi is a lashon of hashalichi. This is yours. A tzaddik, not only does he get back his lost object, baby, I don't know if you're allowed to say it. You'll understand what I'm saying. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kavyochel has a sense of humor. Think about it. Paro is trying to kill with anything he has. He wants to kill this baby that's going to be born today. What happens? Mamish HaKadosh Baruch Hu laughed at him. His own daughter finds him. His own daughter saves him. And Pari pays the mother to nurse this baby back to life. It's crazy. That's how it works. You think you're going to get it? It's not. It could have been done. I'm just saying. It could have been done in 20 other ways. No. He that wanted this kid dead pays to keep the kid alive. It's hafuch hafuch. Vatikach Miriam and Neviah. Achois Aaron, Achois Moshe. What happened to Moshe? Why do they call Miriam the sister of Aaron, not Moshe? Moshe wasn't even born yet. She said a nevuah. How many minutes does it say over there?
52 minutes.
Okay, we're almost done. I just wanted to know if I should say this beautiful afla. She said a nevuah. My mother is going to give birth to this. I don't even know if I don't like to say the word savior. It sounds the one who's Mashiach Klal Yisrael. V'kivan. It might be the proper word, but it's not so gishmak. V'kivan shenoyla Moshe nismal kol habayis kulei or. And once Moshe Rabbeinu was born, some sort of light came into the house. Omad avihu neshaka al roisha. Her father kissed her on the head. Omar lo biti niskayim nevuah. Ah, mamish nevuah. And once Yechav was forced to put the baby into the yar, she gave her a little clap on the head. So the Afla says over here that this clap is in a zifa. It's like you said the wrong thing. So he explains, I thought it was a nice chap. He says that Miriam paskin like Bishamai. No, because we say Paroi held like the Ritva and Moshe held like the Rambam. No, so over here, so for sure, Miriam knew Machlekes Bishamai. That Bishamai hold in order to be Yoitza Mitzvahs Pruvu, you need 2 boys. So she told her father, you have to bring back my mother. You're not Yoitza with just me and Aaron. You need 2 boys. But then later on, she was all upset at Moshe for leaving Yocheved, for leaving his wife when they had 2 boys. She said, you can't just leave like that. You need a boy and a girl. She says, that's the case. Vavia Yorek Yorek, and that he says that's the pshat in Vavia Yorek. The same father, the Tafchal Roisha, that's the same Zetz for saying that. Okay. Amalah Biti. What happened to your big nevuah? And we said yesterday that there's a pasuk of all Shechina, every word is Shechina, but it's Sav, Achosoy, Merachoy. Leida Maya Besoif Nevu also to see what's going to be the end of Nevuah. Boisai, have a wonderful day. A good Moed, Yishkoyach for coming tomorrow, the same time, Bezer Hashem, at 4 o'clock.